one thing that kind of sets Gridly apart as well is that, for example, the header of a column, instead of you just kind of type in English or whatever, and that's going to be your header, we do have distinct data types that you can assign to a column. So you can indicate to Gridly what type of content will be living in that column. So for example, localization obviously is one of the key data types in here. So that's going to be your language-based assets within the grid. You can have source and target languages, and we do support multiple source languages. So you can set up a scenario where, for example, from the developers, stuff arrives in German, and then you translate that to some languages and English to others, or German to English to other languages, things like that. So you can specify relationships, what language goes into what target language, by setting up the dependencies here. So basically you can create relationships between columns and language columns, of course. So for example, you can indicate that, for instance, I do have a German column in here. I just set it to source instead, right? So I have German and English as both my sources, and I can just say that, for example, any updates to German relate to English, and then English goes into my other languages, or I can set up, German into whatever, Danish and Japanese if I wanted to, or whatnot, but you get the point. So you can basically create these relationships between the languages, and this also enables status tracking as well. So basically here, if you see these little color bars, we have different statuses built in. So if something is green, obviously green is good. So it means that localization translation is up to date. So translation is done. And then since the translation was done, we have not updated the English source for this particular string, right? We can have outdated translations, which happens that, so for example, if I, let's say, update this, so yeah, this is up to date now, and I change this again to, I don't know, 75 or something, then in real time, it outdates the translation form. So you can keep track of, if developers pushed a bunch of updates to this grid, or you've imported a new file and updated a bunch of source strings, for example, then the related translation or target languages will go out of date. So you can immediately kind of track, excuse me, any changes happening when it comes to source updates, content updates, things like that. And these dependencies are not exclusive to target languages. So you can have any column, and you can track any column depending on any other column, for example. So I have an example here where I have a bunch of audio files in here, and if obviously my English changes, then my audio files go outdated as well, things like that, right? And then, yeah, basically, we have the up-to-date, out-of-date, and we have a status that is called unset here in red. So obviously that's empty, no translation, no edit, nothing has